So first of all, welcome to Berlin.
Thank you.
It's snowing. Is this something you're familiar with, or is it like
Not
totally...
familiar with it at all. And the snow is incredible. It's like this big. The snowflakes look like feathers. It looks like everyone's on the rooftop emptying pillows out or something. It's so cool.
It's like special effects made in Berlin City.
Seriously, I know.
Well, let's talk about the movie, of course. Getting forced to do something that you actually really don't enjoy that much isn't a nice thing, maybe except your family says you should eat healthier. That's maybe a point you might accept. But Tonya got forced to ice skate when she was a kid.
Well, she actually begged to be on the ice. When she first saw an ice skating rink, she was 3 years old and just kept begging to get on the ice. And as soon as they, got sick of hearing her tantrums, they put her on the ice and then saw that she was a complete natural and had like an innate talent for it. I think that's when her mum's brain ticked over and thought, oh, we can make something out of this. So
it was, at a certain point, it was a little bit too much for a kid, maybe. Do you remember a moment where you had to do something where you were like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I have to make somebody happy?
Not really. I was a very... my mom always described me as a very independent kid. Like when I wanted to do something, I'd go off and do it. And generally, I wanted to do everything when I was a kid. I wanted to try everything and go everywhere and do everything. And I wouldn't really wait to get permission. I would just go and do it, which I'm sure would have been very annoying for my mom to deal with. But no, it was quite the opposite. I feel more sorry for my mom than for myself as a child.
People thought that this movie could never be done and finished. Tell us about the struggle, especially for you as an actress and, the maker of the movie.
Yeah. I mean, the production issues were... Logistically, this was a difficult movie to make because it's so unconventional. People were never going to invest a lot of money into it. Obviously, we're grateful that everyone did take the chance and put money into this film, but still, because it's such a gamble, we were never going to have a huge budget to play with, but at the same time there were so many aspects of this story that make a film expensive. There were so many locations. It spanned over 40 years, which involved prosthetics for multiple characters. There was 267 scenes in 110 pages, which adds locations, time, costumes. I had something like 100 costume changes. There was 2 Olympics, which require big crowds. Again, that's very expensive. And it was a period piece. As much as we feel like the 80s and 90s were just yesterday, it's still considered a period piece, so every bit of clothing, every prop, everything had to be of the era, and that makes everything more expensive. So we had a lot to do in a very short amount of time. We filmed the film in 31 days, and it was insane and hectic, but our crew was incredible. Everyone who came on board really rolled their sleeves up, and I think in the end, it really embodied the spirit of Tonya, to have production be this frenetic, fast-paced, messy thing that everyone loved so much. It was really it was a labor of love. And I don't think if we had more time and more money, I don't think we would have made a film as good as we did.
I mean, you got an award. Something must have been good in this movie,
people
right?
Like it, yeah.
Yes, people like it. Of course, it was kind of exhausting. You had to train a lot. But my research is like, I found out that you're already very talented in many things. Is it true that you want to, in Germany we say, Feuerstangen jonglieren, which actually means fire juggling? Is that true?
Oh, like fire twirling? I mean, I've done a little, I have poise at home, but I'm not good or anything. I do a lot of things, I'm just not very good at any of them. I'm just very mediocre at doing a lot of random things. That's my talent.
Which is good too. So final question, when I was a kid I used to act too, and I remember some crazy ass auditions when I was a kid. Some funny, some maybe traumatizing. So do you remember your funniest audition?
Yes, I had accidentally taken a medication. I'd had a day surgery and I didn't know the names of medications in America, and I took a medication that was really strong, and then I went and did an audition and I just was on another planet. It was a terrible audition. They never called me back for it. And then I had to go do a driving test afterwards to get my Californian license, and thankfully the driving examiner wasn't there that day, so I didn't drive. Thank God, because I was not in the right headspace for it. That was definitely my worst audition.
When you think about your childhood, I mean, sometimes kids do things that they enjoy, and after a while they get annoyed of it and don't want to do it anymore. This can happen with sports too. Tonya started very young, at a very young age. Do you remember a moment where you were like, I used to like this, but now I don't want to do this anymore?
It's funny, I'm trying to think about that. It's like most of the things that I pursued well into adulthood. I played soccer a lot and I surfed a lot. So I was lucky enough to not fall out of love with those things. I think in the case with Tonya, the fire that she had in her and the conviction she had with her skating is part of what's admirable about that character. I think that audiences can relate to that because she had so much against her and so many reasons why she shouldn't be able to get to the Olympics, and she just would not give up.
A lot of people told Margot that maybe she shouldn't do a movie like that. Maybe it wouldn't work out. I mean, there wasn't like too much money.
What I love about Margot is that she's taking her own destiny. Like, she created this project. It's like they've created their company, and this is one of the first films that she's produced. And I think it's so courageous as an actor to really be able to do her own narrative. Part of that was doing it for no money, and really doing it in an independent way so it could have this very specific voice that we wanted. And it was thrilling to like be able to roll our sleeves up like that and have her be in the trenches with us and really go for it, because it was an incredibly demanding schedule. And just simply as an actor, what she had to accomplish was incredibly demanding. But then to be able to do it under this budget with this schedule and be producing as well, I was floored by just the tenacity that she had and just the grasp of all the aspects of what we needed. It was amazing to watch.
It must have been very physically exhausting, but also psychological, because a lot of tough things happen.
She's, I feel like this kind of role, I don't think it really gets much harder for an actor. Doubly so because, one, simply she had to learn how to skate. And be so comfortable in the eyes to look like an Olympic athlete. And she trained for 5 months, 4 days a week to do this. And she could do all of the dance routines, which I was so shocked by that she managed to accomplish that. But then she had that aspect going on. Then she had to, when you're dealing with an iconic figure in our society, it's inevitable there's going to be those comparisons. And we're all very familiar with Tonya Harding. The way her speech patterns are, her body language, and subconsciously you can't help but compare that. So she has that to deal with. And then she has to deal with the age. She's gone from 15 to 44, so there's all kinds of physicality there that's different, and speech pattern changes. And then she has to be spontaneous and perform, and be present in these scenes, and be reactive to what's happening with the other actors, and often go off script. To be able to have that kind of mastery of your craft, it was thrilling to watch her. I mean, I was stunned the first day when she sat down as Tonya Harding, and she's got this Australian accent, and then you call action, and she just transforms. And it was amazing to watch.
That must have been very impressive, right? What would you say is the biggest difference when it comes to making blockbuster movies and independent films? Like, are there, except for the money factor, of course, but are there different expectations from people?
You never have enough money. You never have enough time. Whatever movie you're doing, somehow it gets squeezed. What was thrilling about this for us is, maybe this sounds odd in a way, but I didn't make it for an audience. We're trying to make something that we could connect to, and it was so freeing to just go for our sensibilities and hope, maybe later on it would connect with the audience. But primarily, we wanted to be able to feel it and connect ourselves with the art that we were making. And that was thrilling. And we took all of the other parts out of the equation. It's like all of that, the success has been amazing that we've been able to have after. But to me, the most gratifying part was to be able to make something that was so distinctively ours.
And it obviously worked out. People like the movie.
Yeah, I didn't know where that would land, but I knew I was happy with it. I was very proud of what we had set out to accomplish, and it was such a specific tone and such a complex story to tell that I knew it was ambitious, but I felt we had the arsenal to do it. And, with Margot, she made it happen.
Last question: what was the feedback of your family and friends when they saw the movie? Like, you present something that you've created, and
Actually, I've been married for 25 years. My wife is my toughest critic, and I showed it to. She's always the first one to see it, and I happened to show it to her and one of my sons. We have 2 sons. 3 weeks after we finished shooting, and it's one of the most nerve-wracking things for me because she's very honest, and she loved it. So I felt we were in good shape at that point.
That's really good. A lot of more success.
Thank you.